Today I want to talk about hydrangea pruning. So one of the questions we get the most from any gardener is when to prune my hydrangea. Well, it differs depending on what kind of hydrangea you have. So the hydrangea that most people are familiar with are the kind of flat lace caps or the big pink or blue hydrangeas. And those you really don't do much pruning to whatsoever. You might prune out some of the dead wood, but if you do any severe pruning to them, they actually won't flower much the next year. But there are a couple kinds of hydrangeas that you can prune regularly, and one is the panicle hydrangea. This is Hydrangea paniculata. It's a cultivar called limelight. So this one actually blooms on current season's growth. So all this growth you see is from last year. It grew all last year and then bloomed on top of those stems. So what I'm going to do today is actually give it a fairly rigorous haircut and prune off a lot of the growth from last year. And the reason I want to do that is I want to keep this shrub only to say 6, 7, 8 feet tall. If I wanted to get much bigger, I would simply just not prune it or maybe do some selective pruning. So I want to keep it or cut it down to about 4.5 feet tall. So I'm going to just go and start cutting some of those stems now. And what I'm doing is I'm cutting back to kind of where there's a leaf node. But even that is not critical with Hydrangea paniculata. And there's many cultivars of Hydrangea paniculata. You've probably heard of one called the PG hydrangea. That's Hydrangea paniculata grandiflora. That's an old cultivar. There's ones like Unique is one. And there's many cultivars. There's probably 50 to 75 cultivars of Hydrangea paniculata. So this may seem like it's a fairly severe haircut or pruning, but what will happen is every place that I've cut the stems will get new growth when things start growing in May. So it's actually a way to keep the Hydrangea paniculata in a reasonable size and shape. And for some gardens where you might not have a big yard, it's a way to keep them a little bit more contained and on the smaller side. What I like about Limelight is it has, in the summer, these flower heads are cream and then they fade to light green. It's really one of the most beautiful of all the flowering shrubs. So there we are. It looks a little butchered at this point, but what will happen is all these stems will grow brand new stems and they'll just be covered with this abundance of flowers during the summer.